panel reactions before the debates and after the debates. How do they feel now? Hello, friend, and welcome to The Conservative Poet. My name is Amania. Here on The Conservative Poet, I do political reactions, commentaries, and I throw some humor, some parody in there. I like to call it, I give you the hammer. And so if that's something that's interesting to you, then I say, hey, stay a while, like, share, subscribe. It really does help me out. So in today's video, we are looking at a panel of women that was done by Live Nation. And they had the women on the panel a day or two before the debacle of a debate, and then they have them on after to see where they were before, where they are now. And so that is what we're going to look at. But to even out the playing field, to make you get it right, we're going to play the video of before so you can see where they are. And then we're going to also react to the after. You ready? Let's go. If you are worried and stressed out about what's happening to the country, then I have something that's going to help ease your stress. Pick up one of my amazing scented candles today at orlandopatriot.com and get 30% off.
We wanted to talk to some of the voters in the great state of Georgia. They're all women, and they're all here live with us now. So let's bring in April Chapman, who is planning to vote for Trump, Sylvia Chen, who's planning to vote for Biden, and Mary Lofton-Soley, who is undecided and the type of voter that these two candidates really want to sway. Thank you all for joining us here today. We appreciate it. Decision Desk HQ is giving former President Trump a 63% chance of taking the state this time around. However, it is still a toss-up. So I'm going to start with you, April. Do you think that President Trump is going to be able to flip Georgia? What are you hearing?
Absolutely. I think President Trump has done a remarkable job of connecting with the common man. So many of us are hardworking. We've either built businesses or we are immigrants who are first generation immigrants who've come to this country. And we recognize the beauty, and we also recognize the opportunities that America can provide. And so Donald Trump, with his policies have proven to be able to create a playing field that so many of us want to play in, because we want better representation. We want a better quality of life. And he's already proven that. We've already had an experience of what it's like to live under a Trump administration with a great economy. And now we have an opportunity to live under a Biden administration. And quite frankly, I just believe Donald Trump proves to be a more stronger and proven leader on the issues that matter to so many people like myself.
All right, let's take a look at some more numbers.
So I just have to drop a disclaimer. I love the Standard of Truth podcast, April Chapman. She is a woman in the Lord. Like, I go to her channel just to make sure like I'm in line with the biblical work. I mean, she's so amazing. She does scriptural work. She does a lot of the churches. I mean, she's awesome. So y'all should go and check out April, the Standard of Truth podcast. And I can't say enough about her. She's just awesome.
According to an NPR PBS News Marist poll, 66% of registered voters say they know who they are voting for and nothing will change their mind. So Sylvia, to you, does this ring true? Is this how you're feeling?
Pretty much. I think I will vote for Biden just so I don't have to vote for Trump. At this point, I care more about women's rights and also some of these social issues that Trump has proven over time that he doesn't care about. And so I'm going to vote for Biden.
All right. So you just to keep Trump out of office?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mary, you say that you're undecided in this year's election. So what are you looking to see in this debate? What do you have your eyes on?
I have my eyes on Biden. I want to know his cognitive performance, because I don't believe his vice president is able to be vice president. And so that is what I'm looking at, that as a way not to vote for him is because of Kamala. I don't think that she's ready or able to be Vice President. Trump, his personality, his brashness is the only thing that's keeping me away from him. Some of his policy I do agree with. Mm-hmm. Some of Biden's policies I do agree with. So that's why I'm on the line of who am I going to vote for, or am I not going to vote for either one? Because I'm not happy with my choices at all with this election.
And I heard that that was the case back in 2016. You actually did a write-in, right?
I did.
Who was that?
I'll do that again, but I want to take part and not throw my vote away, but I don't know. Biden is 81. His cognitive condition is very, very, very bad. And Trump does not have that problem. It's his personality. He's such a narcissist. And I'm trying to work it out in my mind. Does that really matter?
Right. And, look, that's what this debate is all about. That's what people are looking to, and they're going to be tuning in for, to see how they perform, to see how they treat each other. It will be interesting because for, one of the first times I think ever, there won't be a live studio audience, or it's very rare that there's not a live studio audience. And we know that a key part to winning Georgia is targeting Black voters. And while Biden still remains more favorable than Trump, we've got a new poll from Suffolk University and USA Today that shows his popularity is declining compared to 2020 in key swing states such as Pennsylvania. April, back to you. Do you think that Trump is gaining ground with Black voters? Because we've been kind of watching this scale go back and forth.
I would say yes, because so many of us are tired of being emotionally manipulated into saying, okay, well, don't vote for the orange guy who's the alleged racist because the other guy who's cognitively incompetent is nicer. I think when many of us go to the grocery store, we're really not concerned about Trump's narcissism. We're concerned about the fact that eggs cost too much and bacon is a problem. And I like bacon. So many of us are concerned with the fact that we are being taxed to death. And we're also concerned about the fact that this border is unsecure. And so if you are a person of color in this country, that should be a policy that is important to you. So for me, I've had to have emotional intelligence to say, I'm not dating Donald Trump. And so therefore, I don't need to like him. What I need him to do is be a fearless leader, to be strong on the policies that matter. Because like I said, I want better political representation and I want a better quality of life. And for me, I have children. And so that's all that matters to me. This country is an amazing country to live in. And to watch it go down the tubes and down by the wayside because you have someone that is unable to make decisions for themselves versus someone who's a proven leader who knows how to bring the economy back. Those are the issues that matter to me. And so therefore, I'm uninterested in the emotional debate about his narcissism or about he's just not a nice person.
All right.
He's doing a good job.
Okay. Sylvia, I want to.
Kudos to April. She says, I like bacon. You know something, April? I like bacon too. I don't have a lot of it because I can't really afford it in this Biden economy, but I do like bacon too. So I get you, girl. I hear you. I feel what you're laying down. And before I move on, this lady here at the bottom, the older lady, I didn't get to respond to her. So she was like, she doesn't want Kamala. She's afraid that Joe Biden can't do it. Kamala definitely can't do it. And she's going in to watch to see how Joe Biden cognitive reaction goes. As you all know how that went. So I'm very curious to see how she maneuvers in the next segment that we're going to see the after debate response. And some of these people are going to vote blue no matter who. Dang, dang, dang. Voting blue no matter who. So we're going to skip her. But let's get back in there.
I get your take on this because I spoke to a former Democratic campaign staffer who says that Biden has lost his support. Let's take a listen. I'll get your take on the other side.
Inflation, which the Biden administration has been claiming has improved, has stopped. And that is simply not true. And when you look at it on a week-to-week basis, it might have slowed down. But when you look at it in the aggregate, in the sum total, it is still a crisis, and the young voters understand that.
All right, Sylvia, what would you say to young voters who aren't excited about Biden at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think unemployment is at the lowest that it's been in a while. So I think that that can reflect what Biden's policies have kind of done there. I think when you're looking at inflation, if you're looking at it over the course of 4 years, that's too small of a time period to be examining what like the effects of someone's policies have done. In fact, it might be better to take in what Trump's policies did to affect how the economy is now. Additionally, I think while Trump says he wants to implement policies, I don't know that we really saw any of that actually happen, because what we've seen from Trump is that he says a lot but doesn't actually do a lot. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want someone who was impeached and then is now a convicted felon leading my country, or given the opportunity to appoint potentially 2 more Supreme Court justices that are far, far right, in addition to the one he's already appointed, who are just going to continue limiting our rights as women.
All right. Well, I want to know what all of you think after the debate.
Okay, so that girl is gonna vote blue no matter who, and I don't know where she picked up her talking points. Hint, hint. CNN, MSNBC, because she had them all down, including the newly felon talking point that they love to throw out right now. So let us go back now into the current segment of who they are. So let us do that right now.
Check back in with those same voters we spoke to see where they stand right now. So let's welcome back in April Chapman, who is planning to vote for Trump, and Sylvia Chen, who's planning to vote for Biden, and Mary Lofton Soley, who was undecided. Thank you all for joining us. So I'm going to start with you, Mary, because last week you said you were undecided, but did anything change in your mind after that debate? Or are you going to give it some time?
Yes, it did. And to be perfectly transparent, within the first 15 minutes, I texted a friend of mine at a local radio station and said the Democratic Party should be charged with elder abuse.
Wow.
When he walked out, I can see his whole demeanor was just affected by whatever's going on in his head. I'm not a physician, so I don't know exactly what it is. But Biden has not been our president for a while. And I know the people behind him have known this. I'm trying to figure out why his wife is complicit with this and why they brought him on stage for this debate, because they clearly knew that his mind is misfiring constantly. And part of me felt sorry for him. But as Malcolm X says, the chickens come home to roost.
Woo! That mama bear there said a whole lot. She seems more like a grandmama bear. But wow, right? She went into this thing hoping, well, she was looking at Biden. She went into this looking at Biden, and she was looking to see his cognitiveness. She wanted to be reaffirmed that he is strong, able, and capable, that he can do the job, right? He can finish the job. That's what she went in looking for. And my, was she ever disappointed, because look at this fool right here. Yeah, again, we all saw it. The whole world saw it. The first 3 seconds of him walking on, we were like, no, it's done. And so there you go. Biden has lost voters. He lost this one. And I'm glad he's losing voters. I'm glad people are seeing it for what it is, because she's not the only one he's lost. I'm sure he's lost millions, including dead folks.
All right. So do you have a candidate in mind? Are you going RFK or are you going Trump?
I'm not going to say.
Okay. That's fair. We still have some road ahead of us.
It would have been beastly if she said, yeah, I think I'll go Trump. I think I'll do Trump. Yeah. RFK's not going to get anywhere. But I'm going to tell you right now, in the general, being that RFK is probably not going to be the guy that Democrats are going to put in, they're going to probably be looking at Gavin Newsom or somebody else, because, again, they're not looking at Kamala. But I'm going to take a guess and say that mama bear or that grandmama bear, I think she's going to vote Trump. She gonna keep it on the quiet though. She gonna keep it on the low.
From Reuters to CNN, Business Insider, and Axios, we are seeing a lot of headlines expressing panic and concern within the Democratic Party over Biden's performance. As we just heard, Mary outlined some of the concerns that other people are saying. I want to start with you, Sylvia, on this. Do you think that President Biden should step aside? Last weekend when we talked to you, you said you were going to vote for Biden no matter what to keep Trump out of the White House. Where do you stand now?
Yeah, I still believe that. And I think it's unfair to judge his whole presidency based on an hour debate. I agree. I don't think it was his best performance ever. But at the end of the day, Biden has done way more for this country. And Trump, although he might be a good speaker, everything he said was a lie, basically. So I don't know how that is instilling more confidence in people's votes for Trump when he's claiming all of these things and almost none of them were true. At the end of the day, I think people's biggest concern is the economy and inflation, and Biden's done more to lower that deficit that Trump added than anyone else has here. So, I mean, I'm still going to vote for Biden. I still think Trump, he says a lot, just like I said last week. I think he proved that in the debate, and I think he needs to be the case when he can say whatever he wants and just say it confidently, and that means people, for some reason, will believe him.
Sylvia, I was down in the Village last night here in New York.
I'm going to just stop there. Let me get something out of my system. This girl gets her talking points. She is just a Democrat propagandist. I'm going to just say that. She might be a regular person, or she might be somebody behind the scenes doing things. I don't know. But this kind of person is I'm going to vote for you. I saw what you look like. I saw what was happening to the country, but she's going to peddle the water just like Donna Brazile, just like Kamala Harris, just like everybody else, Democrat who came out here and, praised Joe Biden, especially Jill Biden. I mean, these are the people. The man is in cognitive decline, but they'd rather put that fool in when they know that the Trump record helped Americans. Americans were doing better under Trump, but they rather put somebody like Joe Biden in who has senior moments, who has a lot of senior moments because he's a senior and he needs to be put in a home somewhere. But that girl will stick by him no matter what. Why? Because she wants to be able to have abortion on demand. She wants to be able to kill her babies on demand. Right? It's LGBT rights and homosexual rights. Oh my God, we have to protect. I'm gonna shut up.
Where Biden made a stop, and a lot of people that were lining the streets who were Biden supporters said, look, he had a bad night, but some people are talking about a possible replacement. We've heard Biden supporters say he is not going to step aside, but if that were to happen, who in your mind would be a possible replacement?
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me who the replacement is. I'm voting for the Democratic Party. I think the Supreme Court decisions that came out in the past 24 hours kind of solidified that for me, as well as they're reversing a lot of huge cases that are really dangerous for the future of our country. And at the end of the day, Biden and his administration, again, are going to do more for LGBTQIA rights, women's rights, and just kind of humanity in general than Trump's administration will.
All right. Black voters will be a
Let me just address this woman really quickly. She is what is a typical liberal, progressive. And no matter what you do, this is who they are. It's like those core Democrat, like the core Black Democrats who will vote Democrat no matter what. They see it, they know it, but they on that Democrat boat. They're gonna sink with the ship, baby. And she's gonna sink with the Democrat ship. Joe Biden, she said it don't matter who it is. You can put Auntie Maxine in, I'm on board. You can put Jill Biden in, I'm on board. You can put Joe Biden in, I'm still on board. It don't matter who you put in, I'm going down with the ship.
Crucial voting bloc this election. We've been talking about this for weeks. When asked about their impact on the Black community, here's what both candidates had to say, and then April, I'll get with you.
They made a lot of progress, number one. The fact of the matter is there's more small Black businesses that have been started than any time in history. Number two, the wages of Black unemployment is the lowest level it's been in a long, long time.
The fact is that his big kill on the Black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking Black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking Black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs.
Boy, that has been a big issue the last few days. April, do you think President Trump has done more for the Black community? And what do you make about that remark about Black jobs?
Well, absolutely. I do think that President Trump has a proven track record of being a GOP candidate that is actually interested in all Americans, but he made a concerted effort to reach out to the Black community. Under his first administration, we experienced opportunity zones, funding for HBCUs were increased. I, as a small business owner, experienced overwhelming prosperity under his administration. Oftentimes when Trump communicates, when he uses certain phrases and terminology, it has this ability to trigger some people. However, I just personally cannot get baited into an emotional conversation about choice of words and verbiage and language. He's not a polished politician. He's just a regular person that happens to be a businessman that is very successful.
Mary,
so the Black voter comment didn't offend me at all. And in fact, I think we missed out on seeing what his second term could have been with the Platinum plan that he presented to the Black community, which was a viable plan of actual tangible things that he was willing to offer the Black community. And we didn't get to experience that because 80 million people voted for President Biden.
Mary, I want
Yo, hold on. April is deadly beastly. You saw how she did that? You saw how she did that? She brought up the Platinum plan and says, if President Trump was still in office, or if we saw him in a second term, we don't know where Black folks could have gone with the Platinum plan. Like, if he was able to implement that, Black folks could have gone, through I don't know, miles of aheadedness. I know that's terrible, but we could have gone so much further, right? But we didn't, because 80 million people voted for Joe Biden. You see how she did that? 80 million voted for Joe Biden. She's not like me. She's not going to say that the election was stolen. She's not like me. She's going to say, yeah, she's going to use the sarcastic part of things, or she's going to use a different way to slip what she actually saying. And what she's saying is the election was stolen, but she's going to say, yeah, 80 million people voted for Joe Biden. And so therefore we didn't see what Trump could have done with the Platinum plan. That April is genius.
On the cusp of a third war, and I think he will try to alleviate that.
Right.
We must understand that he only has 2 years as a viable president and 2 years as a lame duck president. And so it's not the end of the world if he is elected. I think it would be the end of the world if Joe Biden is elected, because I don't know who's behind the curtain making decisions for him.
All right, Mary. Okay, first I want to get to April and Sylvia and ask you guys about the next debate. It's set for September 10th. So at this point, when we step back and we take a look at what just happened, April, I'll start with you. Do you think it's necessary, and do you think it's even going to happen?
I do not think a September debate is on the table. Honestly, the debate from the other night, it showed me more now than ever that it is difficult and people should not be trusting the mainstream media, because so much time has been spent lying to the American people about how things are not that bad and that President Biden was doing a great job and that he's strong and there's nothing wrong with him. And we as a nation, we witnessed what many of us have been saying for the past 3 years, is that in his humanity, he's just not doing well. And that is okay. You know, if we say that we care about all Americans and we care about this country, what kind of love, compassion, and care have we demonstrated toward our commander-in-chief, regardless of his politics? For the Democrat Party to not give their constituents an option and primary President Biden shows me who the real dictators really are. We're not going to have a debate in September. I don't believe he's going to make it.
It is going to be real.
Ooh, when I tell you April Chapman can bring you the hammer in a classy way, man, I wish I could do it like her. I wish I could do it like her, but I can't. But so you saw how her compassionate came through. She says, you know, we should be compassionate to this man. He is being abused with his family. They are abusing him. Everybody is abusing him. He needs to be put somewhere, lay him down and rest and take care of him because he's elderly, right? She's saying, what kind of compassion are we showing when we have him out here, when we know the man is not well? You know, she's got so much compassion. I'm trying to be a good Christian like April. I really am. I really am.
Really interesting, Sylvia, if this is going to move forward. It is on the books. What do you think is going to happen, Sylvia? And will it matter to you?
No, it won't matter to me. I think it's possible they'll have the debate. It's possible they won't. Again, I don't think anything is going to change my mind in terms of what I'm voting for party-wise. If we have a new candidate, I think it'd be interesting to see them. But at the end of the day, again, I think Trump's administration is way more dangerous for the future of this country. And interesting, April made a comment about HBCU funding earlier. That actually came from the Obama administration and not Trump's. So I'd like to see what policies Trump has in place that have actually...
That's not true.
All right. Well, we'll work this out.
Have you attended an HBCU? Because I have. And that's not true.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Go ahead.
Again.
Last word, Sylvia. Go ahead.
Again, I haven't seen any actual policies that Trump has put in place. His administration may have upheld some that were done before, but at the end of the day, the Biden administration is the one that has helped this economy. Trump's administration, again, added a deficit to our budget. Like, I don't know, economically, Trump lies so much. I'm sure it's easy to believe.
Sylvia, we got to leave it there, you guys. We could talk for another hour, but April, Sylvia, Mary, we want to thank you so much for coming.
Wow, that last girl once again showed that I don't even think she has her own thoughts and opinions. I think she just regurgitates whatever she picks up from the mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, and whoever. And that's where she's at. They asked her, well, who do you think they would put in? I mean, thinking on your feet, you could say, Gavin Newsom. You could say, Kathy Hochul or whoever. Whoever they decide, but I don't know. No, it doesn't matter to me. Whoever they put in. I'm going along with it. Like you're here to get your opinion, to give your opinion, to have a conversation. But all she has is the same talking points from whoever. And so, yeah, she was just a vote blue, no matter who. Again, they could revive somebody from the grave, and she'd be like, I'm on board with it. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Well, friends, that's going to be the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed seeing their takes from before and after. And even though our young friend there, she's still the same, but it was good to see the grandmama bear, say, look, this guy is, he has some mental issues. He's got some mental problems, and we need to address that because this guy can't be in charge of the bombs, the bombs that they said that Trump would be pushing buttons for and we'd be in World War III. Well, this guy has gotten us into 2 wars pretty much. There's 2 wars under him. And so the next World War III, they're going to be looking to bring our youth to go fight in these different wars. So, yeah, we need to get rid of Biden and that young girl. It's your friends that's going to be drafted into the war. It's young people like you, who's going to be drafted in. But again, they don't see that. They just see Democrat policies. Their main thing is the LGBTQ X, Y, and Z. Make sure that's good, or make sure we're able to kill our babies. That's where they live. Killing babies and LGBT. Where do they live? Killing babies and LGBT. Where do they live? Killing babies and LGBT. Killing babies and LGBT. Killing babies and LGBT. That was just a bonus, friends. I'll see y'all in another video. God bless you and God keep you.